Hey guys, Mrs. Lanphier here, and we are looking at the WYSIWYG table assignment from Section 2, Part C. And in Part A and B of this section, you should have read all about tables and how to create them in InView. And so for this assignment, we're going to format our autobiography website using tables. So we're going to open the index page of our autobiography and set up a table like the one below. So you can kind of see here that we're going to be working with 2 columns it looks like, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So I'm going to go over, I already have my InView document open here with all my web pages. So I'm going to space down here and go up to Table, Insert, Table, and I said 2 columns, 8 rows, but this only gives us 6 for now, but we can always double click on the table to bring up table properties, and we can just punch in that we want 8 rows there. Great. So to get it to kind of look like this table that's in our assignment, we're going to need to do some column spanning and some row spanning. So pretty easy to do in this program. You highlight the rows you want to join together, and then go down to Join Selected Cells. You can see it automatically joins those cells together. So now I'll join together these cells. This is where my text is going to be, join cells, and then these cells is where my image is going to be. So I'm going to join those selected cells as well. And then I'm just going to copy and paste my information into the cells that I want them in. So I can either readjust the size of this table by clicking and dragging, or we can actually go into table properties and make some adjustments as well, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So I want my title in that top join cell. I want my information in the second row, and then this is where my picture is going to be. I haven't done that yet, but then I also want these are going to be where my buttons go to access all of these different pages. So I need, in this first cell, we're going to put birth, next cell, preschool, elementary school, the good old preteen years, and then today. Actually, it looks like maybe I have an extra row here. So I'm wondering if I can delete. Might have to unjoin these first. Actually, let's go into table cell properties. And so I want this to just be 7 rows because it looks like I kind of have just an extra row. There it goes. So I just changed that to 7 rows to get rid of that bottom row because I had an extra row there. So now we can readjust the width of these rows by clicking and dragging. You can kind of see you can adjust your table width, column width, row height, all that stuff up here, where you can see 173 pixels, 660 pixels. So now this column is 173 pixels wide, this column is 660 pixels wide. This tells you the height of each of those rows. So you can kind of make adjustments there for your table. Okay, so I have the table set up for my index page, copied and pasted my text into the appropriate cells. Type in the text for your links, we have that in, and save the page. Don't worry about the images, we'll do that later. Now we need to repeat each step for the other pages using a table like the image below labeled subtables. So on the rest of our pages, our subtables, we want it to look really similar to that first one we made. So let's go ahead and just kind of fine-tune some of our table properties here. So I want my table to be centered on the page. And then I also want a 0 pixel border. And you'll notice that you can still see some lines. That just kind of helps you to see where the cells are. But if you go to the Preview tab, you won't see those lines show up, and that's what we want. Okay, and then I also want my title center. There we go. All right, so now I need to create a table on the rest of my pages. But first, let's make sure we save. Okay, so I know the instructions say that we're going to add in pictures later, but just to make sure I like kind of the layout of my table, I'm going to go ahead and add a picture now. So you can do this now, or you can wait until we get to that part of the course. But I went to the image icon and then went and found my image alternative text, teacup, picture. Let's see if that'll let me in. There it goes. There I am. So that's a little bigger than I want it to be. So I wonder if I can click on this dimensions tab. And with that constrain button checked, it will kind of keep it proportional. So I'm going to take this down to about 300 pixels wide. That's a little better. Okay, so I still kind of like the way my layout is. Maybe I want my table not quite so wide. So if I go to, I wonder if I can change the width down to like 850. That helped a little bit. Let's do it a little more. There we go. Let's check out that in preview mode. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now you can move on and apply a table to the rest of these tabs that you have here after you hit save. So to kind of show you a shortcut on how to kind of put in the same table, so I want the same kind of layout on all of my pages. And since I understand code a little bit now that we went through all those other units of this course, I'm going to highlight all of my table info. So I'm going to start where it says table and then go down to the close table tag. I'm going to highlight all of that, go back to my normal tab. I'm on my preschool page. So I'm going to go to my preschool source now, and right underneath the body, I'm going to paste in all of my table information. So there's my same table layout, and now I can just simply copy, cut, and paste. Oops, I accidentally hit copy again. So recopy, cut, and paste, and then copy my text down here, cut, and paste. And that way I don't have to recreate the table every single time. I might want to go in and make some adjustments just to make sure I kind of have the same consistent layout. This all looks pretty good. I might want to make sure that this text goes up to the top of the page. So you can see here, maybe I want this to be top alignment. But then that means I have to get rid of that line there. There we go. So that kind of works a little better. Then I can delete this picture because I know I'm going to replace it with a different one. But that way I don't have to remake my table every time. So again, since you guys are familiar with your code now, you can just simply copy and paste the code for the table on each of your pages. Okay, so I have all of my tables set up. Now I'm just ready for the next step, which is to put in, I have a couple extra spaces here, it looks like. Actually, this is where you can kind of adjust the alignment in each cell. I want to kind of move that up a little bit. And then once I get the pictures arranged, I'll go back in and readjust all my button sizes to make sure that they're all the same size. Actually, I'm guessing, I haven't looked ahead yet, but I'm guessing they'll have you go in and make buttons off of that cool text web page. So again, make sure you have all of your tables set up and that we're good to go. Make sure you save and that you don't see that little red disc reminding you to save. And I'm going to make one more adjustment here. Okay, let's look at the directions. I think we're good to go. You have your index page with the table. Table made properly with title and information pasted into the proper cells. So make sure you have that on each page. No spelling or grammar errors. And you're going to zip your entire Unit 4 folder and submit it to the Dropbox for the WYSIWYG table assignment. So zip your entire Unit 4 folder for this assignment.